Well, good evening, everyone, and welcome to our What's Next session, covering postgraduate programs offerings in finance here at RMIT. My name's Heath McDonald. I'm the Dean of the School of Economics, Finance and Marketing here at RMIT, of which the finance programs are housed. Joining me tonight will be some of our key staff and some of our alumni, including the Associate Dean of Finance, Associate Professor Benita Bisandoyo-Binik. Angel Zong is here as well, who's the Program Manager of the Masters of Finance. Daniel Chai is here, who's one of the key academic staff who teaches into the program. And Marina Chen is here, who's an RMIT alumni, but now with Standard & Poor's, and she'll talk a little bit about the experience of studying at RMIT and what it's been able to do for her career. So the program tonight consists of some detailed information about the course and about our facilities here at RMIT and our approach to teaching. And that'll be followed by a panel discussion about the new Masters of Finance program and to give you some explanation of the differences at our program compared to our competitors and give you some reasons why we think RMIT is the best place for you to study in future. Can I just say from a personal point of view, I'm extremely proud of our finance team. We have a really strong and vibrant research culture within this group. They are generating new knowledge and they're publishing that knowledge in leading journals. And for your students, what that means is that we have staff that really understand the latest thinking in the field and they're contributing actively to generating that thinking. They're creating the sort of knowledge that you want to learn that will prepare you for the future in the industry. Our staff also have keen experiences with industry. They're very well connected to industry, and we run a number of events that brings in key industry into the university and will give you access to those networks as well. And I think lastly but not leastly, our staff are very passionate about teaching and they bring that passion into the classroom. And so we have a group here who are very dedicated to finance as a discipline area and are keen to impart their knowledge and do so as enthusiastically as they can. So I think you'll really enjoy studying with us if you choose to do so. And I think it is probably one of the best places you can study in the world if you're looking to get ahead in the finance industry. Before I hand to the team, just let me acknowledge the people of the Boonwurrung and Woiwurrung language groups of the Eastern Kulin Nation. It's on their unceded land that we conduct the university business of RMIT, and I'd like to acknowledge those traditional custodians of the land and their ancestors and elders past, present and emerging. We're all spread out this evening. We're not operating from the RMIT traditional campus here in Melbourne, so we also pay respects to the traditional custodians of the land that we're all sitting on this evening. Spread throughout the world, I imagine. Let me then hand over to Benita, who's going to explain a little bit more about the program and give you some background information about the RMIT program and the staff that will be teaching it to you. I do hope you choose to study with us here at RMIT, and I hope that in the not too distant future I'll be able to see you back on campus in Melbourne here and we get a chance to say hello to each other. But over to you, Benita.
Thank you very much, Heath. So just some housekeeping. First, we will actually have a presentation, and in the meantime, we'll encourage you to publish your questions. We'll have a presentation by myself as the Associate Dean Finance of the School of Economics, Finance and Marketing and the Program Manager. And we will then open the floor for questions. But as I've mentioned, I would strongly encourage you to post your question. We will be monitoring the question chat at the same time. So let me start about my passion, which is, finance overall. But today we're here to talk about postgraduate studies, which is extremely important overall. And in particular, if you think about the current market that we are in, and 2020, this particular year, as we think around, I've been watching the news over the last few weeks, and in Victoria in particular, when you think about the current circumstances, and a lot of people are thinking career change, what next? How do I lift my skills? It has been the subject matter and extremely important. A lot of people are thinking, should I be undertaking further studies to actually lift your skills? So you're on the right platform, I should say. No matter if you think globally, these days, having a bachelor degree is something quite normal that a lot of people do have a bachelor degree. We are in a workforce more and more as compared to a number of years where the literacy level, while of course there is a need for improvement, has improved substantially, and a lot of us hold that first degree. A lot of people then start thinking, have I really reached that career objective that I really want to achieve? So it becomes essential for us to start thinking about a postgraduate qualification. And if I think in terms of our field that we're talking today, finance, if I think of those fancy names that we have, financial analysts, fund managers, investment managers. Yesterday in the news, if I pick yesterday, we saw Afterpay and Westpac having those kind of deals, like those kind of, the CEO Westpac was on the news yesterday. So it was interesting. So all those high-end kind of job requires you to have a postgraduate qualification. So it becomes essential, therefore, to hold a postgraduate study. Very importantly, what compares yourself when you do an undergraduate versus a postgraduate? The postgraduate study, very importantly, I'll talk about 2 points that I have there, the networking and the personal skills. As I say, I do like reading. One of my passion as well is to read a lot. And one of the things that, which has come across a lot is over the last few months in particular, is working from home, reflecting a lot, is how do you upskill? And a lot of people have been thinking quick ways, how do I upskill? And if most probably yesterday, Channel 7 was talking around the things around most popular things, quick things that people have been doing is LinkedIn learnings. And one of the key things that they have been talking about is strategic thinking. That has been 60% of people among a survey yesterday released, that one of the things that they have been picking. A postgraduate study, very importantly, already gives you that. And therefore, that gives you that competitive edge in the market. So in an undergraduate study, very often it gives you the basic entry skill to hit the market. But that extra networking, the personal skill, the soft skills that we talk to lead to that senior, to the higher level of management requires you to have a postgraduate. And very importantly, who doesn't want to have extra amount of money? Postgraduate studies, you're not talking the 18 years old finishing high school who's going to enter higher education now. You're talking, you are at, say, 20 plus, of course, finish your undergraduate. Now you're leading to your next stage. You need to get a mortgage, thinking of settling down with a family. You need an earnings boost. Your budgeting needs are increasing. You need an increase in your income. If you look at any survey which has been undertaken, whether it is in Australia or globally, we have seen a significant increase, whether at entry level or with years of experience, those who hold a postgraduate qualification earn a higher level of income. If I take some statistics, in particular in the field of finance, an average level of graduate entry for finance, in particular finance, is actually trending pretty well. From a graduate perspective, the average 10-year average is at 75,000 right now, whereas a postgraduate, you're talking 120 up to going to 170, depending on, of course, your number of age of experience that you have in the market. And of course, you want to be known as a specialist in the field. That's why you hold a postgraduate study. Next slide, please. So we are on the right platform, and that's why it is extremely important for us to think about the next stage of your career, which is a postgraduate study. And we are here tonight to talk about, as I said, I'm very passionate about finance. I've been in this field for a very long period of time, and who would deny we don't need money? Of course, if I've won the Tatsler, I would say yes, I don't care about money. But of course, everybody needs money. Money is it's central to any decision, whether it's personal, business, government. So it is extremely important, which is a focus which affects the business decision. And if you think in terms of the markets in the current business environment and in the current circumstances, 2020, where we are at, it is extremely important to focus on the financial decision making, on the strategic decisions of organization to make sure we improve profitability. This is where finance becomes extremely important. whatever field of study people may be in, whatever field of specialization you may be in, whether you're talking technology, education, agriculture, whatever field you're taking into account, finance is extremely important. So there is no doubt that finance is central to the success of any type of business in any field, and therefore there is a strong need to study finance at every level of stage or life or any field that you are in. And as I've said earlier, which links to the previous point that I was making, we all need money, but very importantly, it's an advancement to your career. And in particular, when you're talking about a master's stage, doing a master's of finance, we are no longer talking as a junior analyst that we're talking, the junior financial analyst. Yes, that's what you're going to get recruited as when you have a bachelor degree. But if you're talking a fund manager, if you're talking a financial analyst, you're talking an investment banker, you're talking a commercial banker, these type of jobs requires you to have those postgraduate study, in particular a master's in finance. And the projection growth in Australia, whether we're talking a COVID year or non-COVID year, still holding really strong in the market right now. We are projecting an increase. That's the Australian numbers. But if you think in terms globally as well, there is significant growth in the finance area, which is currently showing 9.7% increase to 2027. That's from SEEK in the current Australian market. But as I've mentioned, in terms of dollar-wise, the current income, when you're talking about a fund manager, entry level, at times we're talking 120, and that can go up to 170. Not to forget that the CEOs of the bank can hit 1 million. Of course, that's a bit of controversy, but we are talking sky is the limit when you're talking the finance industry, because we're talking a financial services sector whereby a lot of opportunities exist in the private sector. The finance industry is highly dominated by the private sector. And of course, we have public sector, but one of the key features in the private sector is the high paid work jobs opportunities that we have. So it is a very important area to study finance. And of course, if you have ambitious goals, I would always suggest to study a postgraduate degree in finance. I would now hand over to Dr. Angel Zong, who is our program manager for the Masters of Finance, who would talk specifically about why you should be studying a Masters of Finance at RMIT in particular. Thank you.
Thank you, Benita. Hi, everyone. I'm Angel Zhang. I'm a senior lecturer in finance at RMIT, and I'm the program manager of Master of Finance. I am excited to share with you what's next in postgrad study at RMIT in finance. You will gain a competitive edge in the finance world by advancing your skills in financial modeling and financial technology through trading simulations, collaborative research projects, and exploration of contemporary issues in finance and related industries. You will learn from leading academics in the field via our research-led teaching approach. At the postgrad level, we offer graduate certificate in finance and Master of Finance. Next slide, please. Let me talk to you about some of the course facts. So if you undertake a graduate certificate in finance, if you do a full-time study, it will be over 6 months, which translates to 1 year if you are a part-time student. In terms of Master of Finance, depending on your prior study and work experience, there are 2 options. If you have some prior study in business or working experience, it would be a 1.5-year program. Otherwise, it will be a 2-year program. When we are back to campus, you will be studying in the Melbourne City campus, and we have great facilities and it is easily accessible. There are 2 intakes every year. One is in February, the other one is in July. In terms of contact hours and study load, if you're a full-time student, you expect to undertake 4 courses per semester. That translates to 12 contact hours per week over 4 courses and a recommended minimum 36 hours of independent study commitment per week. Next slide, please. Why should you study finance at RMIT? First, we are globally recognized. I'm proud to say that our discipline of finance is a leading research group. We are currently ranked among the top 10 finance group in Australia and top 200 globally. which means if you study finance with us, you will learn from the leading academics in the field. We are also ranked the 8th in Australia for graduate employability and number 55 globally for graduate employment rate. We are affiliated with world-class finance institutions such as the Chartered Financial Analyst Institute, CFA, FinSIA, and Q Group. You will also benefit from our global study experiences. Next slide, please. We are industry connected. We have very strong industry connection. Our courses are designed in conjunction with leading finance industry partners through an industry advisory board of high-profile executives. You gain exposure to simulated trading in stock and foreign exchange markets in our ultra-modern state-of-the-art RMIT trading facility. Our strong connection with the industry means that you will be mentored by industry partners. And we have dedicated specialized service to help our students achieve career aspirations. You'll be able to engage with thought leaders, industry mentors via our networking hubs. And I'm also proud to say that RMIT is ranked number 4 in Australia for our partnerships with employers. Our students have opportunity to compete with peer students from other leading universities in the world. For example, our students are active participants in the CFA Global Research Challenge competition and the Refinitiv National Trading competition. Next slide, please. Our teaching approach is flexible, practical, and specialized. You will have the opportunity to choose from a range of electives, and you will be able to undertake business internships. In our course, we use live market data in real-time trading simulations, and we conduct these trading workshops in the RMIT trading facility, which is the only one of its type in Australia and one of the largest tertiary-based facilities in the world. Our students are assigned individual icon licenses so that after the workshops at the RMIT trading facility, they can trade, they can practice trading skills anywhere, anytime. Our teaching approach is practical, and we adopt a research-led teaching approach. Our postgrad classes are run in small size so that you can better engage and interact with your classmates and teaching staff. Next slide, please. And this is the photo of our RMIT trading facility, which is the only facility of its size that receives live data from Refinitiv Icon. Refinitiv Icon is the world's leading source of intelligent information for businesses and professionals. Our use of live market data means that the data is not just updated every second, it is updated even every millisecond so that students can learn and to adapt to changes in the market in real time. We use market data and we run simulations in workshops so that you will have exposure in terms of multi-asset portfolio. You can conduct the risk analysis, hedging, money market, and foreign exchange instrument trading. Next slide, please. These are some examples of our industry partners, including S&P Global, the ATO, A-Funds, Mercer, Refinitiv, AIST, CFA, NZ, Research Affiliates, and FinSIA. Next slide, please. We also offer a lot of global study opportunities. For example, we have a study abroad program by which you can undertake some of your courses overseas with our partner universities. You can also choose to undertake intensive global study tours in Europe during the summer. We also offer a program that's called International Industry Experience and Research Program, which offers paid internship with global companies such as Rolls-Royce, Airbus, and East-based transportation. Next slide, please. And this is the course structure of Master of Finance. If you start with us over a 2-year program, so in the first semester, in your first year, you will undertake 4 business enabling courses to lay the foundation in study in business. And in the second semester in year 1, you will start your finance study in financial statement analysis, in which you will learn how using information from financial statement to make investment decision. In managerial finance, you'll be introduced to theory of different areas of finance. In quantitative methods in finance, it will introduce you to statistical techniques used in the finance industry. In economic analysis for business, we will help you understand the structure of the economy and how it affects the finance industry. In corporate financial management, you'll be introduced to corporate finance as well as asset management. Financial econometrics introduces you to the current research issues in analyzing financial data by using econometrics methods. You'll be introduced to the fixed income security asset class and conduct simulated trading in bonds, in fixed income securities and credit analysis. And in the final semester, you will learn alternative securities, which consists of the non-traditional asset classes in finance. And you have exposure to risk management in the derivative market by studying options, futures, and risk management. And finally, you will study the capstone course, which is portfolio management. It is the accumulation of learning that has taken place throughout our program, and we provide you with this knowledge and skills of professional and ethical issues in relation to finance and the management of investment on an individual and portfolio basis. In your second year, you have one elective in each semester, and there we've given you some examples of the electives that you can undertake, including global funds management, modeling in finance, research issues in finance, blockchain and crypto finance, and postgrad business internships. Next slide, please. We invite you to advance your career with RMIT. Some of the career options once you finish studying with us in finance would be financial consultant, credit manager, equity analyst, financial analyst, director, fund manager, treasurer, stockbroker, portfolio manager. You will graduate with the skills to pursue these careers. Next slide, please. And thank you so much for your time tonight. Dr. Daniel Chai will be facilitating the questions and Q&A session.
Thanks, Angel. And that's a wrap on the presentation of the night. We'll now be opening the floor to the audience and answering questions that you may have. Benita, we have an enrollment related questions. Can a student get any exceptions with professional experiences?
So as far as exemptions are concerned, with professional experiences, it depends on what type of professional experiences. Are we talking about just your work experiences? To enter, for example, our entry requirement for a graduate certificate in finance, if you have a 5-year work experience, you enter in the program with a non-financial finance background, but we don't provide exemptions. So it depends on what type of professional exemptions certification you're talking.
The next question is, again, for you, Benita. Is the course still going to be available online next year? If there's any change due to the COVID restrictions going forward?
I would love if we have a miracle to happen, but of course, what we have learned in this year, we're living in a digital world, but definitely we are living in a blended world. So right now we are going to have a blended approach to learning next year, and we haven't stopped quality. We haven't compromised on anything that we're doing in our program, and we're going to maintain that next year. So we are going to have a blended approach, and depending on the circumstances, whether we're back to campus or not, we would be offering both in a blended approach, as well as if the opportunity presents, we will be back on campus as well. So there will be the opportunity of having online options as well. That's where actually the overall College of Business actually we are heading.
Thanks, Benita. Angel, here's some question for you. Is the trading room's data real-time or simulated? And are students still be able to use the trading room facility right now during the COVID time? Does it work remotely?
Thank you, Daniel. As I mentioned before, yes, our data is in real time. So you will be trading using live data, which means this data will change as the market changes, so that our student can learn to adapt to the changes in the market. So given the virtual world, our students are still able to practice simulated trading skills, because in addition to the trading facility, which is in the which is on campus, we assign individual icon licenses to our student. So that means if you have access to your phone, either a phone, a tablet, or a computer, with the icon licenses, you can practice simulated trading online.
Thanks, Angel. Angel, here's another related question. What is the advantage of completing a master versus graduate certificate or diploma degree? And how does RMIT's facility helping students in getting real life experience?
Okay. So first, with regards to the comparison between graduate certificate versus master, if you in the course structure, so if you look at the courses in the second semester of the first year, those 4 courses are your graduate certificate in finance. So I would suggest for those who are still considering, you can get into the graduate certificate of finance to have a feel of our program. But in order to build more knowledge in a variety of areas in finance, I would strongly encourage that after the graduate certificate of finance, you can then decide to move into the second stage of the study, which is the second year in the Master of Finance program. And in terms of so the second half of the question is about how we help our students to achieve career aspiration. So we have a career hub at RMIT where we offer dedicated and specialized services to help students to craft their CV, practice interview skills, and we have a platform which is called RMIT On Demand to connect our students with employers looking for postgrad university graduates.
So if I may add to this one, the difference between a grad cert and a diploma and a master's, if one single word I can use to make that difference is your marketability, right? That's the difference I would flag, right? You do a grad cert versus a diploma and a full master's is your marketability that you have in the job market. So, you know, grad cert is just 1 semester, graduate diploma, you're talking 2 semesters, whereas a full master's 1.5 years or 2 years. That's where you go up the ladder. That will be the key difference from my perspective.
Thanks, Angel and Benita. Marina, there's one question for you. This one is related to work experience. Are there work placement opportunities as a part of the course?
I think RMIT is really good to connect students with the professionals. So while I'm still in RMIT, we got opportunity to do a CFA challenge. So while we're doing that, we were assigned to do a mentor, and then we will get in touch with the real industry people. And I think that's something that RMIT done so good for the past few years. It's always connect us to the professionals. So it's never just about studying. It's always like making connections on for the year and a half I did for my master. We have a lot of like career events. So you can just sign up on the hub and then join into different events and be able to talk to actual industry people. So I think for that, it really help out students to get a real like work experience. And then many of our lectures are actually from the industry as well. So that's something that I think is really valuable for students. So you actually learn not only from the academic side, but also from the career perspective.
Thanks, Marina. Benita, there's a question for you. What sort of backgrounds do the academics have?
So if I may add to what Marina has just touched on, we have a blend. The perspective we take on our teaching, we take a really hands-on approach on our teaching, whether it's from our trading room. So our academics, as Angel has presented the program, so it gives you an overall spectrum across various areas of finance. So our academics are really equipped across various areas of finance, but at the same time, we bring along a number of industry experts in beyond the classroom experience, like the CFA challenge, Refinitiv challenge. But in addition to that, we partner with a number of industry experts, including, for instance, Fincha, which provides mentoring aspect to the students. Australian Securitization Forum, for instance, they come in and give guest lecturers. People from big banks, the 4 big banks, they are highly involved in delivering lectures. Portfolio managers providing the real aspect, because we use live trading data, as we've mentioned. So ICON is one of the things that portfolio managers use in practice, and we provide these to the students. So the students, in addition to what we are showing them in theory, what in our trading room, we bring in addition to, with our academics, the industry profile, high profile people to teach together with our academics. So we have a wide variety of blend across our academics that we have teaching the students in the masters in particular.
We have questions related to the comparison between Master of Finance and CFA. So this is a question. I'm considering between Master of Finance and professional certificates such as CFA, CPA. What do you think? What is the difference?
I'm gonna say take a personal experience. So I'm actually a CPA. So before I did my master's degree in RMIT, I was studying as accounting. So I did my CPA degree. I did my master's degree in RMIT, and I'm doing CFA at the moment. So I guess like this question is quite talking about my experience. I think for the master's degree, I think the student need to know that when you do a CPA or a CFA, is self-studying. So there's no actual instruction given to you. So the CFA or the CPA only hand out the materials to you. So you have to do it on your own time. But when you do a master, you have your lecture and you have your tutor to help you out. So I think what the master helped me is really give you understanding about the whole financial world. So after you've done your master, your CPA and your CFA will be much more easier. If you only do a CFA on your own, that journey gonna be extremely hard. And also, like when you do a master degree, we do so many good projects in the RMIT course. Like you're gonna learn a lot of soft skills, which you can't learn through your CFA self-studying. So your soft skill will be working as a team, and also working with your like doing a project in a timely manners. Those things you can't really learn on your own. And also one of the other things I really want to mention is for RMIT, our lecture, the course design is really like help you out to figure out in which area of the finance you want to work later on. So we provide the lecture provide like the course provide you like various options for you. So those things, I will say that doing a master degree will be much benefit for you in your long run, because it's just gonna give you the whole experience to like understand the whole financial world. Hope that answered the question.
And if I may add to that one as well, we are CFA recognized. So what this means is that 70% of the body of knowledge of CFA, what we do in the Masters of Finance, is what you would be studying in at CFA. So as Marina has flagged, a very important aspect, and I started by talking around, why you study a postgraduate, and that's a difference. The differentiation between undergraduate and postgraduate, the soft skills, the networking aspect, the linking you with the industry, the key people, and Marina is one of our success stories. That's why we invited her. In fact, she was recruited at the panel of our CFA challenge by Standard & Poor's. So these are the type of opportunities that you get by doing a master's versus when you're self-studying, very importantly. And also with the Master of Finance being CFA recognized, recognized, we also provide, we don't have exemption. I could see there was a question around exemption there. We don't have exemption with CFA. No university does that. But very importantly, what you do get scholarships with CFA. So that is a path that is available with any university which is CFA recognized, and we are recognized with CFA. So it's a really good validation of the quality of the work that we have in our Masters of Finance.
Thanks, Marina. Thanks, Benita. Marina, what was the best part about your studies at RMIT?
There's a lot of good memories back in RMIT, I guess. So I think while I was studying, I feel like I want to mention some things about the RMIT culture. I think culture is something that you can't replicate it in other places. And I do think RMIT have a really unique culture. It's very it makes you feel like when you study, you're gonna make a friendship with the people you study together. And also you feel this real connection about your lecturer care about you. So I personally think those culture, and also like RMIT is really innovative as well. So and Angel mentioned the trading room, those things are very for me, that's something that very different than just traditional teaching styles. So I think RMIT have this great culture and the tradition of bringing important things, practical things to the students, and then giving back, and then also make sure every student get taken care. We got all kind of event and facilities for student. If you need help, there's always someone to help you out. And I think that's the best part of my study. Beside the academic and then the study part, I think the culture is the things I value the most.
Thank you, Marina. Lovely comments. And that is our final question for the evening. Thank you to everyone who has attended our session today. If you have any other questions at all, please feel free to contact our team here at RMIT, and they'll be more than happy to support you. We also have posted a link to our feedback survey. If you can please take 3 minutes to complete this, it will really help us to continue to ensure you get the best out of our virtual information sessions. I hope you found this night insightful, and are looking forward to share what's next in your career. Take care, everyone, and enjoy your evening.